Hey everyone, let's continue our lesson on simple interest. Question 3 says Alkalina earned $262.44 in simple interest from investing from an amount for 3 years at 5.4% per annum. What was this amount that Kalina invested? So, our formula is equal to I equals PRN. Okay, let me just write that here actually. So, the interest is simply $262.44. And our n value, which is our number of years, is 3 years, and our rate is going to be 5.4%. So I is going to be 262.44. I'm just going to substitute that in. That's equal to P, which in this case we're actually finding. Okay, that's the amount that we put in the bank, or Kalina put in the bank, and has invested so that she gained this much extra money. So P is unknown. 5.4% is the rate, and n is for 3 years. Okay, so if we now want to solve for P, we're just going to divide both sides by 5.4% times 3, just like that. So I'm just going to copy that over here. Then this will mean that these two things cancel on the right side, so that P is simply what this is. So we're going to type exactly what this is in the calculator, including that percentage sign right there. So 262.44 divided by 5.4%. Okay, I'm just going to do that right now. Then divide by 3 there. Okay, that's going to give us $1,620. Okay, this is the amount that she put in the bank before investing and gaining this amount. All right, question 4. Alan earned this much in simple interest. So that's I, from an investment of that much. So that's what we put in the bank. That's P over 5 years, and that's N. What was the interest rate per annum, which is R? So let's write our formula down. I equals PRN. Our interest is going to be this amount here. So $5,409.25. The principal, or the amount we put in the bank, was 9835 times R, which we don't know, and N is 5 years. So again, dividing both sides by this and this, you know that this will cancel out of this side. If you move that to the other side, you'll get 5409.25, and the 9835 and the 5 here will go underneath the other side, since we're dividing it over. Like that, again, like how I did last time. And now what we do is just type in our calculators. Okay, and now this will give us R being 0.11. So this is actually not a percentage yet. This is a decimal. Okay, and you must remember that. The question says, what was the interest rate per annum? And interest rate is always given as a percentage. So we have to always multiply this number here by 100, which means moving the decimal place twice to the right, and that would get us R being 11% per annum, just like that. Okay? All right. Question 5. For how long must the principal of that much be invested at 9.8% per annum simple interest for it to grow to this amount? So this is our principal. It says right there. This is our rate, your simple interest. Well, just be careful. This is not our simple interest because it's trying to grow to this amount. So if we started with this and it grew to this, then the difference between these two values is our interest. So let's find our interest. That's our final amount, A, minus our principal. So that's 18,837 minus 15,750. So if I do that on a calculator, that will give us $3,087. This person invested this much, and then it grew by this amount to become this. Okay? And now we can put this in our formula, I equals PRN. So the interest is 3,087. That's equal to our principal, which is 15,750 that we put in. The rate is simply 9.8% per annum. Okay, we're going to put 9.8%, but we don't know how long it takes. That's what it's asking for. So we times it by n. Okay, so now we can divide both of these things over to the other side, so that 3,087 over 15,750 times 9.8%. Okay, can be put on the calculators. I'm just letting you know that this number here can also be written as 0.098. If you want to put that in the calculator, that would also make sense. And that will give us n being 2. And don't forget what units it will be. It would be per annum, so it's going to be per for 2 years. Okay, that they left the money in there to grow to that amount. Okay. Question 9. Aussie Express Credit Union has the term deposit accounts shown in the table in which the principal must be invested for a fixed period. Calculate simple interest earned on these amounts. So, all of these questions are just utilizing I is equal to PRN, and we're trying to find I here, but you just have to look at the specific percentage you need, okay, for each case. So each of these numbers represent the principal, that's this. These represent the number of years or months or whatever it is, okay? So given that we invest $6,300 for 3 years, we look at this amount here, okay? And so for part A, we're going to replace P by 6,300 times by the rate that it says there, which is 10.5% per annum. And just make sure that this is the same duration or same unit, which is per annum, which is in years. So that's okay, since that's in years as well. And so once we type that in, we do get I, the interest, being $1,984.50. B is a little different. B's got the principal as $13,750. The rate in which we're going to find is dependent on what this is. So 8 months is a number between 7 to 11 months. So that means we're going to use this percentage. Okay. However, this is only going on for 8 months out of the 12. So we're going to write 8 out of 12. And I'm just letting you know that this is divided by 12 since this is in years, and this must also follow the same kind of unit. So we can either do that, or we can put that divided by 12 underneath that percentage, so that this is now a monthly rate, and this is also in months. So it's up to you, whichever one you want to type in. Okay, they both work. So it's 13750 times 9.25% times 8 divided by 12. So that'll give me 847.916, which I'm going to write 3 dots to indicate that there's more numbers. Then we're going to round this to $847.92, since that's what we need for financial maths. Okay, 2 decimal places. You can have a go at part C and part D yourself. Okay. I'm going to move on to question 10. Now, question 10 says, Kylie earned this much interest from an investment of $2,530 for 91 days. What was the interest rate per day correct to 2 significant figures? So now we've got I equals PRN, where this is already our interest. This investment here is what we put in the bank. That's P. Now N here is 91 days. Okay, this is a bit more special compared to the previous questions. We'll look at days now. But it's also asking for what is the interest rate per day and not per year. So because these two are the same, okay, there's no need to convert anything like divide or times by 365 or anything like that. Okay, so this happens whenever these two are the same only. Okay, so that means we can directly substitute everything into our formula and it should work. So our interest is $80, 58 cents. Our principal is 2,530 times our rate, which we don't know. Okay, and remember this is per day. Okay, not per year anymore. And we have to multiply this by the number of days, which is 91. So now if we move these two numbers to the other side and divide it from $80.58, okay, we get this result. So typing that on my calculator gives us hold on. Oh, let me just use my other calculator. So 80.58 divided by 2530 divided by 91. Yep, okay. So it gives us 0.00034, right? 9 ... So it has more numbers. But the thing is, we want to multiply this by 100, since this is just a decimal, and we have to get that to a percentage. So if we multiply our answer in our calculator by 100, we get 0.0349 ... as a percent. This is per day, right? But the question itself also says to round to two significant figures. So we have to start from the very first non-zero number, which is this guy, number 3, and we count two numbers, so 3 and 4. We draw a line there, and only this number could change if we wanted to, and that's dependent on this 9 here. So that 9 there that we see is above 5, so that's going to round this number up, which means that R will now be approximately equal to 0.035% per day.